Hello, welcome. So this is LexUganda AI Legal, an intelligent legal platform that bridges the gap between the traditional legal practices and the high demands of the digital economy. So this is a legal AI assistant that's designed to help the lawyers, law firms to draft the documents and analyze contracts within seconds rather than taking weeks and days to review the contracts. So this is basically the platform. Yes, this is basically the platform. So as you can see it's a legal assistant. It drafts using the Ugandan law. The Ugandan law, that's the Employment Act, the Land Act. So what are we generally solving? So let's go ahead and So let's go ahead. So this LexUganda Uganda, so draft smarter and also review contracts smarter. So it's a legal AI assistant designed for the legal industry. Yes. So what challenges are we solving? So the first thing is businesses lack affordable legal services. Yes, most lawyers are very expensive. So most businesses find it very hard to get that legal help. Yes, however, lawyers' services, they're usually cheap. So you can, like reviewing a contract, it shouldn't be so expensive. It should be cheaper. So we'll help you to do that. Then there's contract drafting. It's slow and repetitive. So especially for the law firms, it takes them some time to draft the contracts, and they end up repeating particular clauses, termination clauses, and what. Because if I'm making a contract for a software engineer in company A, definitely it will be almost the same in company B. The only difference will only be the compensation. Yes, the compensation and maybe some few rules, regulations there and there. But the most important thing, all this is grounded according to the Employment Act of Uganda, according to the Employment Act of Uganda. Yes, the tenancy agreement, the contract laws, the business laws, everything. So it's grounded in that. So most law firms waste a lot of time on drafting up the documents, the legal documents like NDA, employment contracts and what. Then another thing that the manual review, it misses critical risks. So with that tool, you're able to flag risk clauses and termination clauses. So something that would take lawyers a week to see, for us to take it in a few seconds. Yeah. So that's basically the problem we're addressing. So yes. So basically it's about drafting legal documents and reviewing the contract. So what's the difference between this and ChatGPT, all other tools in the market? Yes, ours is more designed for lawyers, so we also handle case management. That will come later. For now, it's not yet there, but we shall be able to do that later. Like we'll add it there later. Yes, shall we to do that later. So yeah, so we can help to draft contracts. Like you can see our contracts here. We're able to draft. So someone can be able to draft an employment contract, can be able to draft a tenancy agreement, a disclosure agreement, a partnership agreement. And all this, if someone was actually hiring a lawyer, it would be so expensive for them, very expensive for businesses and what. Yet here you just need to draft your contract and then you give a lawyer. So you reduce on the cost of hiring a lawyer for that. So you can draft here an employment contract. So it's create a 2-year employment contract for a senior developer with a 3-month probation period and monthly performance bonus. But according to the Employment Act of Uganda, yes, that's the thing. So you describe what you need and the AI will handle that. So you can generate. For now, I've disabled my API limit, so I'll not show a demo for that. Maybe you can show a demo and see. Yes, create a 2-year. Create a 3-year employment contract. Contract for actually we utilize only Ugandan data, so that's the only difference. So you can draft, but as I told you, remember we're powered by large language models, so it's kind of expensive, it's not that cheap. So yeah, please ensure it's correctly configured, simply meaning that yeah, our API key is there, but however you need money to, yeah. So there's council review. In case you feel that maybe you have drafted a contract but you need a human lawyer to come and intervene, to come and, so then there you can go ahead and locate an advocate. So we have our partners, the lawyers, who can be able to come and help you to review your thing manually. But of course they will use the summarized findings of our document and what. Then you can go ahead and even export it in case you have generated one. Yeah. So it does that very fast. So that's for drafting legal documents. Let's draft in the legal documents. Yes. And then also, I didn't show you the contract. So that's for drafting the legal documents. Yes. And then now there's analysis, the contractor intelligence auditor. So you can review any kind of contract, but all the contracts are supposed to be business related. That's where our focus is. So yes, so you can look at it and then, yeah, and then draft one. So let's go ahead. So the problem, so the opportunity, we have 10,000 small medium businesses in Uganda that need this kind of help. So we're starting locally, and then later we can expand to different African countries like Kenya, like Tanzania, but we're focusing on local industry first. Then there's rising law firm efficiency. Yes, they're using ChatGPT, but ChatGPT has is limited to USA Constitution, not so much trained on Ugandan data. Then how do you adopt AI to help us as the lawyers? So that's the great opportunity and why this product is like to bring more returns. So our solution is basically AI powered legal drafting. As I demoed to you, I showed you how you can draft legal documents. So you don't need to get a lawyer to draft for a legal document. No, you can draft the legal document yourself. Then instant contract analysis, you can be able to look at different contracts. It analyzes the contract, shows the risk clauses and all that, everything. And then you can even look at your previous contract documents. Then another thing, in future we shall add on case management, we shall add on other features or product that make legal tech nice. But this is the core, that's the MVP. So this is how the product should look like. Yeah, but as I said, we changed, so we're using the color of golden, so we're not using blue, but you have an idea. So this is the business model as we're looking for funding. So businesses are going to be paying $20 per month. So in this case, we shall be using Uganda currency. That should be around 70,000. So if I'm paying 70,000 per month for a lawyer, then it's much cheaper for that legal advice. It's much cheaper than hiring a lawyer like 1 million and what so. So that's for small business. So for business that are fearing to get legal help, we can help them with the legal thing, because if you have any challenge with the legal thing, your business is going to be stopped. You're going to pay big penalties and all that thing. So if you keep on the right side of the law, then your business will prosper, because that becomes a risk. Then the law firms, remember, they need drafting documents. They need to review. They need that. So we're not replacing law firms. Law firms actually are using our tool. The tool is mostly designed for law firms for that. So for them to be paying higher because they're high usage users. Yes. And then the enterprises, this is for custom integration. Let's say law firm wants us to train the tool based on their data and all that, on their judgment and everything, then yes, that will be customization. So in that case, you can always get in touch with us and we shall help you to digitize your documents, whether it's a document management system, whether it's a legal AI thing. So we can help you with that. Financial projection, year one, we expect at least $75,000. Yeah. So we want to be, our mission is to be Africa's legal infrastructure, powering contracts and ensuring that businesses are compliant with the law, risk compliance. Yeah, that's the amount of money we need, $250,000. However, we can start with partnership and all that thing. Yeah, we can even start because we've already injected in our money we're focusing more improving on the product development. We need to do product development, so we need to expand it to be a case management system, legal advocates, issuing out invoices. Yeah, fine-tuning the models, the Ugandan acts, the Ugandan Employment Act, the Land Act, the Tenancy Agreement, and all those things there. So NDA and all that thing. So we need to train many things there. So even it's very expensive for those large the API costs. You saw that actually my legal drafting was not able to work because I need to pay for that to show that. So we need that. And then we shall expand from here. We expand to African countries. Yes, it will be a subscription service. So we have developed an MVP that is mostly the front end. Yes. Yeah, with core drafting and other features. However, it requires more work. However, it has been developed. So that's the prototype that you saw me showing you here. This is the prototype here. This is the prototype. Yes, this is a prototype. So we start with this. However, we shall add on other features there. So even now, even before we start, we go ahead and all that thing. Then we shall continue going forward and all that thing. So initial interest. So one is the working on the MVP, and then after I've worked on MVP, it's still not polished well. Then we need to work on also go ahead and market law firms and businesses. So business that need legal aid, we can always give them a free trial, Law firms, we can help them to draft the contracts, to review the contracts, to review the legal documents. Then also pilot discussions are underway. We're looking at the legal fraternity and everything. So the team founder, that's me. Yeah, Bugere Moses. That's product and AI engineering. So I'm the one leading the development. We need so it's a Python backend to handle the AI, Laravel to handle the document management, and then React for the front end part. So basically all this can be handled by one technical person. But yes, where we need really a lot of money is law experts, Ugandan law experts. So we need to hire lawyers and all that things. So that's much expensive. So we shall be hiring them on contract basis. Yes. And then planned hires, especially now when it comes to fine-tuning the models and all that thing to the Ugandan. Yes, that's why now we shall hire maybe AI engineer. And then we also need the salesperson to actually go ahead and market the product outside. So that will be handled by Mukitale Frank. Yes, you'll be doing the operation side and what as it looks for business. So we need all that. So for any kind of funding, like if you want to fund us, because this is a great project and it has to be tested in the market, people need to review documents, they need to do all that thing. So this is going to be a bigger product. So it's not all about legal AI assistant. We want to expand the full product offering with all that together for the legal department. So if you have any maybe consulting project in generative AI, that's in healthcare. Yes, research in healthcare, you need in finance, in different industries. Just integrate in generative AI. I'm available. That's my number, so you can get in touch and yeah, we discuss your project and see how best I can help you so that we get your project up and running. I thank you very much once again. So, yes. So that's the Platform Employment Act. So the Land Act, the Company Act, the Contract the Contract Act. So all these are part of bills of parliament of Uganda. So they have been trained on this data. We are powered by Gemini AI. Yes. However, we should need to try multiple models and see how they work. And the data is highly encrypted. We use military grade encryption for keeping clients' data. And I think we don't send clients' names to the prompts, no. We do it, we hide the names. So you see many clients use ChatGPT, but they end up sending clients' names. That's wrong, because that's data protection and private thing. You are not respecting them. So for us to remove those names and mask them before we send the data that side. Thank you very much. Once again, we need to push this product, legal assistant, to transform the legal industry. Thank you very much.